Okay, it's going now.
Okay.
Move a bit back.
Tell me where to go.
Back, sit. Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah. All right.
Yep, and awesome, I'm in Hi guys, welcome back to Tism Talks, episode 3. I'm here with Hasaan Mohsin. So yeah, today we are out in a park, we're out and about, we're having a good day. And yeah, okay, so let me give you a little bit. Hasaan, like, how would you introduce yourself?
I would say I am currently training to be a commercial astronaut. Previously, I was at U of T studying astrophysics. So being an astronaut has always been the dream. Now I'm taking the steps to actually go towards that.
Hasaan is being a little bit too humble. Hassaan's Pakistan, you're the first person in like Pakistani history ever to complete the IAS astronaut training, right?
I'm the first male, yeah.
First male, first
We have
male.
one female.
Oh, really?
So it's just us two, yeah. We kind of represent the entire Pakistani space industry. That's how small it is almost.
No, I remember, so Hasaan has been interviewed by Pakistani News, all these different channels. I remember one time we were talking about this idea of doing social media. And then he was like, oh, let me just send you my press packet. And I was like, wait, what? Why do you have a press packet?
Yeah, I've had to do a lot of press and media outreach and interviews.
Yeah.
So when I initially completed my commercial astronaut training modules, I got picked up by a lot of the media outlets there because it was a very new thing. Nobody really knows about it there. There is no exposure. So I was the bridge that is guiding all these like kids as to this thing exists. Like, come on, check this out.
Yeah, that's awesome. How do you, I guess, so okay, here's something I find interesting. Since you and like that woman are the only like representation of like Pakistani, I guess, like astronauts, I would say, how do you find that? Do you feel like there's ever like a pressure to like really like represent yourself and like, do you feel like that exists?
Oh, a lot. I think
Really?
there is. I think at the beginning I was very excited that I'm on TV,
Yeah.
dozens of interviews, this and that. Wow, it's super exciting. But after the first few, it really hits you like the weight of it all.
Yeah.
I have to be so careful in everything that I do now because I've got perhaps hundreds of thousands of people watching me here and there. Specifically also like what I say language-wise as well. I have to represent speaking Urdu, which I'm not as confident with. I have to also be careful to not say anything controversial like politically or religiously. Like, I think there is this new level of caution that I have to adhere to.
Yeah.
It's concerning, but I try my best.
Okay, so on that topic of caution, I'm putting my sunglasses back. So I'm not a big fan of editing, and this isn't a you thing. I feel like there's kind of a fear where it's like, what if I say something that's gonna cancel me eventually or like ruin my life?
Yeah.
So what we do now is, let's say I have a question where I'm like, I think this is gonna be controversial or cause problems. I say cut, and then there's two options after the statement's made. We either sustain it, which means we don't, I keep it in, or like reject it, which means I cut it out. So you're the one, like, and like also like, if there's anything you want to, just like say like you want this like removed and like I'll edit it out. My hope is we don't have to do that, that we could just like have like a regular
Honestly,
conversation.
I don't plan on saying anything controversial, so you can keep I think you should be able to keep everything in.
No, but that's the thing. Nobody plans on saying things that are controversial,
Yeah.
Nobody's like, yes, today I'm going to say things against this minority. Yeah, anyway, I remember I saw you doing this thing where like you were, I guess, like talking to some kids at like high school, and you were, I don't remember, what was it? Like you were doing some high school thing, and I remember like one of the kids was like, when I'm like you, I want to like grow up to be just like you.
Yeah, no, that's very sweet. Honestly, I think one of my favorite parts, I think perhaps my favorite part of all time, is all these kids that I'm interacting with.
Yeah.
My inbox is flooded, both email and Instagram.
Really?
My DMs are flooded with mostly high school students from Pakistan. Like literally hundreds of texts from all these students, asking for guidance. And somehow I am the answer to that. Like, that is crazy to me.
Yeah.
2 years ago, I was in that position, right? 1
Yeah.
or 2 years ago, I was DMing everybody. So to be in that position, it's so awesome. And I've also been doing online webinars and these outreach events where I go speak to high school students, sometimes even younger, honestly, even middle school students. They have time before they decide college or anything.
Yeah.
But I just like nudge them in the right direction, and show them like, hey, I'm doing this thing, this space-related stuff. You should, look into this. It's pretty cool.
So I think I didn't actually plan to talk about this, but I feel like your opinion for this question would be pretty relevant.
Okay.
SpaceX IPO.
Ooh.
I
Okay.
love that. I saw your face. I saw you look down. You looked right up. What are your thoughts on the SpaceX IPO, Elon Musk, the whole thing? I'm curious.
I do. Okay. Let's start with the stuff that I do support heavily. I think that the engineering, the research, I think we are creating stuff that is, we are getting more stuff done in this generation than maybe we do in like 3 generations usually, maybe in hundreds of years. We are pushing for new science, new engineering so quickly. It is unbelievable. And we're gonna accomplish great things.
Yeah.
Like, it is a real possibility that we could literally have humans living on Mars by 2050. That is unreal. That might actually happen.
Yeah.
With the development of, so for example, with Starlink, any little town or village in Pakistan, in some tiny, uncontacted village in Africa, in South America, everybody will get access. If you have access to Google, everybody's knowledge goes up. The average output, your scientific output, your any sort of output, the entire country's GDP is going to go up if everybody has this knowledge, right? You're connected. And as for the other stuff that SpaceX is doing, I think that their plans with Starship and all, equally as exciting.
So one thing for the viewers, not me, what are they doing with Starship?
Okay, so Starship is their flagship. That's their biggest, most prominent product right now. Which is gonna be their spaceship to deep space. It is the thing that's gonna take all the cargo to the moon or Mars. And that is their most ambitious project yet. And that might be the answer to all of our problems with deep space.
Really?
But now, the controversial stuff. Now, Elon as a person, very, very controversial.
Yeah.
His personal life is very turbulent. So, see, I like to separate art from the artist, right? I think that his art, what he's good at, the science, the engineering, he's good at that. But his personal life, I don't fully like everything that I hear about him.
Yeah.
Of course, a lot of it is rumors, so I don't know what's true, what's not. And it's not like I've met the guy myself.
Yeah.
But I would be cautious around him because he's so powerful.
Yeah.
He's a trillionaire. He controls half the world probably. Right? You got to be careful around him. And the IPO.
Yeah.
I think that
after you give your opinion, I'll give my opinion on the IPO portion.
I'm not a finance guy, so
Yeah.
I can't go into too much details. But from what I understand, they had to bend a lot of SEC rules, and I think that is not ideal, right? Because a lot of people who are putting their, for example, their retirement money or their funds,
pensions,
things like that,
yeah.
they're automatically investing in the S&P 500 tracked mutual funds or something.
Oh, I've got one. I've got an even worse thing to add on to that.
Okay, yeah. So
but yeah,
if you're investing in a mutual fund that tracks like the S&P 500 or something, and you're automatically going to have to face the consequences of SpaceX going up or down, that's very volatile. It's very risky. I wouldn't, if it was my money, I would not be happy with that. I would protest it. So I think that's controversial. I wouldn't invest in SpaceX right now myself. I think I would wait for it to stabilize. Wait, what was your question?
So the point I was going to make is, do you know what OTPP is? Ontario Teachers Pension Plan.
Oh,
they invested heavily into SpaceX.
They did what, like 18 million, now it's 300 million or something?
The issue is this. So going on to the whole SpaceX point is, if they invested pre-IPO and then after IPO they sold away, I feel like that's amazing.
Oh, that was amazing.
But like the thing is, I'm honestly not a finance expert, so I don't know what their strategy is with it. Are they holding it? Are they selling it?
I actually don't know what their strategy is, but I think, okay, that one I fully support. That's good because they invested beforehand with a conscious decision.
Yeah.
They chose that. So that's good. That's fine. That's good, right?
So, okay, going back to my thing. So I personally believe, I'm a very big believer in businesses and systems that generate real revenue. Like the trades, for example, like your plumber, like they get real cash. It actually gets contracted. And I feel like a lot of SpaceX's valuation comes from, in the next 20, 30 years, it's gonna be this massive thing. And I'm not hating on that. I run a startup. Like I get the valuation game and I understand the potential. The thing is, the way I see it is this. SpaceX's technology, Falcon 9, like with the reusable rockets, I'm right, that's Falcon 9, right? Yeah. It's going to help us create the first, asteroid mining operation, which I think will breed the first real trillionaire from how much infrastructure we're going to move in and how much new infrastructure we're just going to be able to develop as a result of it. But I don't necessarily believe the the financial metrics SpaceX currently has supports the valuation. It is insane though. Like, I'll give them this. It's insane that they're like, I think they make like $18 billion a year in terms of like revenue. I think that's insane that they're able to do that on like an R&D heavy business like SpaceX and like astronaut travel. But like, the way I see it is, I think Elon should be the richest man. I get that. But I don't necessarily feel like he should be a trillionaire. That's my opinion.
No, actually, I agree. I completely agree. Like, a lot of these aerospace companies, and also like all the AI companies today, right?
Yeah.
They're so, I don't know if they're overvalued. It might be a hard word to say, but yeah, like their valuation compared to their revenue and like, it might be a bubble. Oh, we're not sure, right?
It is a bubble. It is 100% a bubble.
Like, it doesn't make sense. It is, you're betting into the future. We might be completely right. We might be completely wrong. We're just not sure yet. And so that's why it's so high risk to bet on SpaceX right now. Because so things like you brought up asteroid mining, that is still somewhat science fiction.
Really?
We are so far away from asteroid mining. I think it is, we can do it realistically.
In our lifetime?
Yeah, but not by like, not within the next 20 years.
Really?
It is so difficult to justify it.
What's the difficult part actually?
Well, first of all, it is just very expensive. That's kind of the straight point. Now, during the NASA era, like the Apollo missions or whatever, the main problem was that you have to worry about taxpayer dollar. Everybody's like, hey, our money is going to this. What's the point of that? You don't have to worry about that anymore. It's private. It's some billionaire's money. Cool. But at the same time, it's so expensive that you have to justify the cost of sending the trip there, loading all the material, setting up the infrastructure there, and then bringing that back, all the jet fuel, everything that you're paying for, it has to be less than the material you're bringing back, right? And so there is nothing that we can bring back right now in such large quantities that's
commercially viable.
Yeah, that's commercially viable right now. And so the real value actually is not in bringing the stuff back, but actually using the stuff on other like celestial bodies there.
So when you say using it on other celestial bodies, like what do you mean by that?
This is something that we call in situ resource utilization, ISRU. So for example, when we send humans to live on the moon, they're going to be isolated. Nobody can get to them for like days. There's also going to be a communication delay. If they ever have any problems, they are on their own.
This was the plot of the movie The Martian, right?
Yeah, exactly. And so think about this, right? You're completely alone. If anything happens, you remember how in that movie, like...
Oh, wait. One thing you have to add is, like, so people are like, oh, well, they went there, they got back. But you also have to mention, like, these planets are rotating, they're in motion. So, like, actually, like, moving out isn't, like, as simple. Like, the reason why SpaceX is like, oh, we're going to fly to this state is because, like, it's, like, some math thing where it's, like, the closest distance based on, like, celestial rotation, right?
You can... Because everything is, like, moving around, right? There's a lot of orbital dynamics. And you can't just launch at any time and get there easily. So for Mars, you can only go once every 2 years, right?
2 years? Oh, wow.
Okay. There's only every 2 years, there's only one launch window. When Earth and Mars are so closely aligned that you can go. Otherwise, it's going to take years to go there. It's so difficult. But in that movie, The Martian, I don't know if you remember, but there was one point in time where his entire habitat explodes. And he's panicking. He has to get it all back up. Now, in a situation like that, we want the astronauts to be able to build everything themselves again. So if they need, let's say, a screwdriver or a wrench, what if we could have a 3D printer that uses lunar dust and 3D prints screwdrivers and wrenches on the moon using lunar equipment or lunar dust, you know?
That's so, that is, that's insane.
For the first time, they're going to be fully self-reliant. We don't need to send everything. Sure, we have to send food and that stuff. Sure, but that's not super difficult. At least halfway, they're going to be self-reliant. That is the real value right now.
That is, wow, I actually didn't, the way I saw it is, have you played the video game Cyberpunk?
I have not, unfortunately.
Do you know like the idea of cyberpunk?
No.
So it's essentially this idea of like we live in this like technologically advanced civilization. And like there's chips in our brains and all of that. But like the whole idea is like the world is so integrated with technology. And like, you know, like type 1, type 2 civilizations.
Like harnessing the sun's power?
Yeah. So the way I saw it personally was the benefit out of getting all these materials is like we could build things like, maybe not a Dyson sphere, but like a partial Dyson sphere. And like there's just so much infrastructure we could bring in. But like that whole idea of like I guess in other asteroid, like I guess space missions. So actually, wait. This is something I talked to ChatGPT about, and I kind of want to hear your opinion about it. So I have this theory that every planet has like something that it's good for. Like Earth is good for sustaining life. Mars, for example, it's so hot, I'm assuming, that like, what if we just put like solar panels? Venus, and like, I can't tell you the actual specifics, but I'm sort of wondering, like, is there a way that you could like harness specific energies out of specific planets and then like bring it back to like Earth? Because I don't know if you remember, one time I asked you when you were doing your IAS training about like, what if we had like nuclear facilities in the moon, and then we just like brought like we did the risk of like having nuclear power over there, and then we brought it back. So I'm kind of curious about that.
Oh, actually, that's a wonderful thought.
Yeah.
Harnessing every planet's power.
Yeah.
I don't think we have enough to harness every planet, but there are certain ones. For example, Mars. Yes, we actually can.
Yeah.
And it might not be like energy infrastructure, perhaps, but we can harness other things such as the atmosphere. So SpaceX plan to get to Mars actually fully relies on Mars' atmosphere.
Yeah.
So the Martian atmosphere is mostly CO2. And so what SpaceX plans to do is they are going to use their Starship, their main mode of transportation to Mars, and they're going to use, I think a methane-based propellant to get there. And there's a very specific reason. They're going to launch from Earth, they're going to go to orbit in like Earth orbit, and they're going to refuel in orbit.
Yeah.
Once the Starship is fueled up, they're going to go to Mars, land there, set up the infrastructure, whatever. And then they're going to use the Martian atmosphere, which is CO2 dense, and they're going to use a specific chemical reaction called the Sabatier reaction.
Yeah.
They're going to use CO2 to produce methane from the Martian atmosphere.
Yeah.
And then use that as the fuel to fly back to Earth. So you don't need to take the return fuel. You go there and you make your own fuel over there. That's like the secret that we've just unlocked.
Wait, that's so I always remember hearing. Okay, wait 1 second. I want to just check that this is filming. Yeah. But I always remember hearing like the issue wasn't getting there; it was getting off, right?
Getting back because you have to take so much fuel.
Wait, sorry, I'm just. Is it recording? Is this recording? I do not know if this is recording.
Please tell me it's recording.
Yeah, it is. Oh my god, I got so scared. Okay, yeah, it is. It is.
Okay.
Bro, I was like, wow. We were like, imagine like we had this whole discussion, and it's like, we had to start. Yeah, it is recording.
It's not my first time I've done a podcast and they weren't recording.
Oh my god, really?
There was this one time.
Yeah.
You can cut this part out if you want.
Okay,
because it's not related to space. But
oh no, that's all cool. Like no, so like one thing I'll say is like I'm not really
like a free flowing.
Yeah, it's more like awesome. I don't know. Like the idea of this like podcast was less of like, oh, you have this topic and expertise, and more like I want to capture like the experience of friendship. Like you know, just like two friends, like they're just hanging out randomly, and like this is what they're talking about. But yeah, go on their podcast.
I was gonna say There's this one time that I was doing this podcast. This was in October when I was right after I came back from my zero gravity flight. Yeah. That was when my videos on Instagram went viral. Yeah. Every news channel is picking it up. Yeah. Every like journalist is calling me, and there was this one specific, I would say, kind of like a up and coming podcaster in Pakistan. So she contacted me as well. Yeah. We spoke and we were gonna do a podcast, but it was super haphazard, I would say. Yeah. And so we talked for 45 minutes.
Oh my god.
We had an amazing discussion.
Oh my god.
After 45 minutes, she's like, okay, thank you so much. It was great talking to you. And she goes to turn off the recording and she looks at it and I see her face. And I was like, what's going on? What happened? And she's like, I wasn't recording. Oh my god.
That is
oh my god. It's fine. We decided, okay, you know what, we're gonna do like a small 5-10 minute session quickly. We're gonna do some like clips that we can put on Instagram. We're gonna do like small tidbits. But yeah, the 45 minutes were wiped. But no, we're good friends now, and it was a good conversation with her anyways. Like she's awesome. We became good friends after that. So hey, good networking anyways.
That's like, I feel like that's like, okay, because like the issue is like, when it comes to these convos, it's like you can't like repeat it. It's one of those things that happens so authentically. Yeah. Where it's like 45 minutes and like you're having a good time and then you're like, oh, like it's all just gone, you know?
Yeah.
So you're talk about the zero gravity video. How many views did I get on Instagram?
Oh, a lot. It's I think close to like 5 million right now.
Wow.
That's not like coincidental. I'm gonna be so honest. Yeah. When I was going to IIS, I had tracked all the people that were in IIS, okay? Yeah. The International Institute for Astronautical Sciences. Yeah. It is an educational institute for people wanting to learn about basically human factors engineering, test flight engineering, bioastronautic related topics. Yeah. A lot of things that astronauts have to learn at some point.
Also, sorry to cut you off. There's like a yellow button.
Okay.
Press it. I think that like makes it like cancels like the external noise. Oh, that's that.
Where is it?
I'll get it.
Oh, here?
Yeah, just press it. That should cancel the external noise. Yeah, I think it's good now.
Yeah?
Yeah, sorry, there was just an ambulance going. Sorry about that. Yeah, go on.
And so when I was going to IIS, I'd already tracked all the people that were in there, and all of them were like celebrities in their field.
Yeah.
All of them were on newspapers. This and that.
Academic celebrities.
No.
Like real celebrities?
Some of them are actual celebrities. Not all of them.
Yeah.
Very few. But there are some that are really big as well, right?
Yeah.
And so I knew that if I go to this place, it's going to be a huge league change, so to speak. So before I even went to Florida for my training, I was fully prepared that when I come back, I'm hoping, and I assume, big things are going to happen. So before I went to Florida, I already planned out the pictures and videos I need to take for Instagram. I made the press pack. I created a new email, like a press email, so I can handle all the press relations afterwards. I already started contacting all the journalists and like making a list of people that I will eventually get to be in touch with. I need to be in touch with. All of that was planned. And then a couple months later, when I was going for my zero gravity flight, I had fully planned out how I'm gonna play it out on social media. Yeah. And I knew what I need for a good reel. Yeah. You know, it has to be short. It has to be 15 seconds, perfect amount. Yeah. Any longer, people are gonna lose interest. Yeah. People have a short attention span. Yeah. It has to be something that the first 3 seconds, the hook has to be good. Yeah. You have to immediately see something that is exciting. So it was very, very planned. It worked out, went viral. And yeah, honestly, that kind of helped me grow a lot in the Pakistani like visibility overall.
Wait, that is like, I did not know. I thought you were just like, oh, here I am, like Pakistan. That's fucking like, that's awesome.
Also, after my initial training in Florida, after you start getting a few followers, you get to meet so many new people who are doing similar stuff as well. So in Pakistan or even in Toronto, I got to meet so many new influencers. I became best friends with so many influencers that we used to regularly hold PR strategy meetings. Yeah. And so we used to discuss our Instagram demographics, our insights. We would compare and contrast. We would see what works, what doesn't work. And so I got to learn so much about like social media through that. Yeah. And yeah, honestly, that helped me get better with my social media tactics.
Okay, I have to ask the question though. So right now you're trying to find a job. Yeah. You're looking. Why don't you just like you're clearly good at social media. Why don't you just like full time it?
I think Canada is limiting me a little bit.
Really?
I think that if you are in America, you are perfectly placed to be on social media. Yeah. A lot of companies, you're gonna make bank on like TikTok with the creator fund. Yeah. Snapchat pays a lot.
Can you not in Canada?
No.
Really?
I don't know about Snapchat. TikTok, no. So in Canada, primarily your way to make money is gonna be brand deals. And so that is the thing that is limiting me because I don't want to do brand deals. Because I have poised myself as a scientific researcher and I want to maintain my credibility as a researcher. Yeah. If you see me advertising shawarmas on my Instagram, I risk losing that credibility, right? I can't be advertising McDonald's or something. Yeah. And so I have kind of decided to hold back on all the brand deals. I do get brand deals a bunch. Every week I'll get 1 or 2 emails about different companies I want to get in touch, but I will only support it if it's super aligned with like either the aerospace industry or just anything ambitious, adventure sports or something. The only time I ever did something was this jacket company that I really like. I love their like space jackets. Yeah.
Wait, Loki, I'm gonna get a Timbit.
Go for it. Yeah. They might be like melted. Be careful.
Yeah, it's all good.
Just bring the box over.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
And what's it called?
You did a jacket deal?
Oh yeah, bro. Their jackets were awesome. Yeah. They had like NASA patches and all that.
I feel like I remember seeing you with that.
I posted it on Instagram. Yeah. So they contacted me as well, and they wanted to send a jacket. I was like, yes, of course I want a free jacket. Send it over. I'll make a video. I'll talk about the jacket, this and that. That was the only time. But aside from that, if it's not like super space related, I'm not gonna do a brand deal. And that's the only way most people in Canada on social media make money.
But okay, there's like those U of T influencers? Yeah. You know that one girl who's like she's always like whenever you're on like TikTok, Instagram Reels, she always like comes up. Who? I don't know her name. Like she's she was on U of T's. Like she's always like there's like this one girl that goes to U of T. She always like just fucking.
I don't know. I might not know, but okay.
But it's like how are they making money?
Oh, I don't think they are unless they're doing brand deals. You're not gonna get so Instagram doesn't pay you money. Like for example, YouTube directly will start paying you at one point, right after you have a certain amount of subscribers, after you have a certain amount of views, you're gonna get per views, you're gonna get a couple cents or this and that, right? It's pretty well defined. Instagram does not do that. Simply, no matter, like, okay, if you have like maybe 20 million followers and you're like at that point, sure, they're gonna support you personally, right? But up until that point, just brand deals. Instagram doesn't directly pay you like YouTube, so they're not gonna be making money.
What is this, a Canada specific thing or?
No, it's worldwide. For Instagram, it's worldwide.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you don't make money off of Instagram, bro.
Wait. But you can on TikTok.
Yes, in the US and certain other territories and stuff. The laws are, it depends on your area.
But wait, I feel like that makes no sense. Why doesn't Instagram pay you?
Oh, I don't know. It's their policy. I don't fully understand it. Why wouldn't they? Because they're limiting themselves, right? Like, this is part of the reason why all the big creators are densely focused in the US, right? That's where all the money is, right? All these streamers and all these Instagram influencers, you're gonna see everybody focused in like Miami, LA, whatever, because social media pays well there. It's actually a field that you can make good money off of. In other countries, you don't have the same opportunity. So it's just like a lack of opportunity.
That's because, okay, I want to do social media. You've seen my reels, right?
Yeah, of course I have.
Yeah, so I've done those reels, and it's like, for me, the way I see it is it's more like marketing and branding myself.
Yeah.
Because, like, okay, I feel like because of AI, there's only like 4 real job categories that are going to exist.
Okay.
One is deep scientific, deep like research work. Like things where it's like the problems are so advanced that like AI can't solve it right now. The other is like deep human work, like negotiation, management, sales. Jobs that are so innately human, AI can't understand it. The trades and like content and social media. Like I truthfully believe like if like your job will survive, it needs to fall into one of those 4 categories. And like partially why I'm doing this is like I know about like video generation models. A video generation model cannot generate like a 2-hour podcast that looks realistic. I know that for a fact. I know like I think it's called the physics engine. It will make mistakes. You will see my hand going through this Timbit box at some point, where it's like, I don't know. Also, I'm fucking like stealing your Timbits.
No, I bought a big one for you. So.
Yeah, but yeah.
No, yeah, I completely agree. I think that with AI, doing so well, there are going to be few things that it cannot replicate, and it is the human side of things. So, if you can get into that, that would be pretty cool.
The human side or the content side?
I think content comes from the human side because like you are making content for those humans to watch. You're only going to be successful if you are able to connect with the people you're making that content for, right? So it's kind of one and the same.
So actually, this is something interesting I wanted to talk about. So there's this guy I know. He's Indian. He lived in Canada. Now you know him too. He was there in first year. You know what I'm talking about?
Say the name?
No, let's not say it.
No.
Actually, I'm not going to say something bad about it.
Okay.
But like, okay, it's not something bad, but it's just an observation. So he's been posting a lot of reels, and he's not blown up.
Okay.
And I love how we both know the exact.
I am not sure. I know.
You do. He was there in first year. He was like, everybody knew of him.
Morrison?
Yes, Morrison first year. So he posts a lot of reels, and like it's not blown up. And I've kind of wondered like, he's posting so much, like why is he not like blown up? Why has he not hit that like dip? And like the thing is like he posts very like mundane, this is my life type content. And on the one hand, people would be like, oh, why would that take off? But like there are consumers that like blow up that do that. And people that are just like, oh, day in my life working corporate, da 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 da. But the thing with him is, I kind of like think like he's Indian. If he just spoke like Hindi, he would cater to like this big demographic. Because like for the normal person who sees content, it's like, oh, like this is just like some like random guy's day in my life. But like imagine like you're like a poor village Indian, you're like a poor village Pakistani. You have like geo, you've got barely internet, and then you're seeing this guy live like the North American life. Like part of you is like, that's like aspirational content. That's like, you're living luxury, you know what I mean? And it's like one of those things where it's like, I feel like he holds himself back by like speaking English and trying to cater to like a North American, like I guess like an English speaking market versus like, let's say a Pakistani and Indian market. You know this guy. I'm surprised like you haven't like.
I might. Might not have seen the reels, but I probably know him. No, I completely agree. I think that I've thought about that as well for myself because I am holding myself back as well with the English. And eventually I will pivot into, so I will at some point create a separate account and a YouTube channel to cater and make videos in Urdu. That's something that I'm planning for.
Wait, really? Oh.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna do that.
Yeah.
Right now it's just that my target audience hasn't necessarily been Pakistan yet.
Yeah.
It has been, because it hasn't necessarily been to just make money. It's more personal branding to kind of build my personal brand and get opportunities within North America. My target audience is still North American as of right now, but I will try to diversify later on. In his case, I don't know who his target audience is. Like, you gotta sit down with yourself and really think about who that is. And sometimes you don't want scale. So for example, one of the startups that I was working for, we were a lighting company, and we wanted to get funding.
Yeah.
We wanted an investment. And so we started building a community on School, you know the website?
I haven't heard of School.
It's like SKOOL.
I feel like I've heard of it, but I don't know what they
It's like a
specifically
community
do.
building website.
Yeah.
And so every week we would do like a podcast or an interview with some lighting designer.
Yeah.
And try to just like get to know them, ask them questions to learn more about the industry, and hopefully they join our network.
Yeah.
And we grow our community.
Yeah.
And with that, the goal was never to get 1 million views.
Yeah.
The goal was targeted that we want only a few people in our community, only 100, 200 people, that's it. But all 100 of them are like industry professionals who have so much money and they are impactful. So low scale, high impact.
Yeah.
You can do scale or that or high
Yeah.
impact, you can choose. If your friend, maybe he has a specific group of people that he's targeting, that's fine. But most people want to go for scale.
Yeah.
Then you probably should sit down, and after every 2 or 3 videos, you need to see what's working or not.
Yeah.
You do need consistency, because at the end of the day, think of social media like a big group chat. If you have 10 people, every time somebody sends a video, you are going to see it. But as you keep growing in the group chat, right? Now there's 1,000 people in the group chat. You're going to miss certain videos. Social media is just a really big group. Hold on, do you want me to wait for it to pass?
Nah, it's all good. It's a really big group chat. Yeah.
It's a really big group chat. Social media is a really big group chat. There's so many videos being posted that you're gonna start missing them.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it is a finite amount of videos on there.
Yeah.
It is humans posting.
Yeah.
And so if
dead internet theory.
Yeah, but well, if you post enough videos, eventually people will see it.
Yeah.
Eventually, like, you are gonna overwhelm the algorithm. People will see it. So you need consistency.
Yeah.
But after every week, sit down and look at your insights. Be a data analyst. You have to be a little bit of a data analyst. Look at the demographics. If your demographics are, for example, 80% India, 80% men, 80%, you're seeing a pattern. Okay, let's target and, cater to that pattern. Don't just keep freestyling it.
Yeah.
Oh, and also, okay, social media is very aesthetic based. Like, let's be honest, right? Either you have to be really pretty, or you have to provide an aesthetic that people just enjoy watching. It doesn't necessarily, like, unless you're doing educational videos, you have to create an aesthetic sense that people just like to stare at. Eye candy.
Yeah.
You have to provide eye candy.
Interesting. Huh. I remember when I was posting my reels, I was obsessed with the how long do they stay on the reel before they drop off?
Yeah.
I was like obsessed. It's for everybody. It's always a downwards curve. Like, it's always like and I just was obsessed with like watching that.
Well, like after like the retention rate.
Yeah, retention. Like, it's like like how many seconds do they actually like stay before people start dropping off? And I was obsessed with that curve.
Yeah, it's really hard. Like, if you're doing educational videos and you build a good community, sure, they know your content is good, they'll stick around. But a lot of time, you only have the first few seconds to hook them. Otherwise, you've lost them.
How do you come up with a good hook? What's your strategy for it?
Honestly, it is hard to really decide. I try to start every video with as much like a bang as possible. It's difficult, but I think I've decided to limit myself to posting only when I have some really big stuff. I don't post as much anymore. I only post when I have something so relevant that I know that this is 100% banger. Like, I fully believe in this. I'm not like doing half shots anymore. I only post when I'm 100% sure, like, this is awesome. I love it.
That's interesting. Sorry, I'm just playing around my camera. So you only... So it's the idea of quality over quantity.
Yeah. For me, because you need quantity to break into it. Your first 10K followers are the hardest thing to get. It's impossible to get your first 10K. Dude, it's so hard. But once you break that 10K, you've got the quantity, cool. Now you got to go for quality, right? You got to shift. You cannot do the same thing all the time. You got to pivot at some point. Now, it's literally on autopilot.
Yeah.
After the 10K, the next 10K were so easy. I didn't even do anything.
But I swear to God though, even before you were like famous, you had like 5K. You had like a lot of followers.
Okay, I was always a big networking guy. I always just had a lot of friends. So even when I was in high school, I had like 1,000 followers or so, which is in a lot of countries, right? Like if I'm in Pakistan, that's a micro celebrity.
Really?
Over here.
Oh yeah, I know. So I have like I think 1,200. This guy from India like texted me the other day. He was like, "Oh, you're like a celebrity. How do you manage doing this?" And I was like, "Wait, what?" I was like, huh?
I think it's over here. Everybody has thousands of followers.
Yeah.
Right? It's just a cultural difference or something. I don't know, because it's super casual. Everybody follows everybody on Instagram. Yeah. Literally every person in Canada has an Instagram.
Yeah.
But in Pakistan, when you have 1,000 followers, you're like a micro celebrity or something. So that's something. But I think even then, I was just very social. Mm-hmm. I always met a lot of people. And that helps. The more people you know, the more of a genuine connection you have with people.
Yeah.
When you post something cool, they're gonna forward it to their friends. You're gonna have more exposure all over. So, be social. Go out and talk to people.
I feel like that's part of my inspiration behind this podcast is. Do you know we're in a friendship recession?
What do you mean? I don't know what that is.
You know, like loneliness is like an all-time high.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I saw this stat. It was like back in the day, people used to have like 5 people they would consider like 5 close friends. Now it's like 3, and like we are in like a friendship recession, and like I feel like it's because of social media.
Definitely.
And okay, here's another fun. Okay, this is a stat I want to ask you. What percentage of people do you think aged 18 to 25 have sex once a week? If you had to
okay,
guess.
No.
We're not talking about. We're not getting.
No.
I'll say it's a third.
I can't do that.
It's a third. And there's another thing. Factor in how many people are like in relationships. Where it's like people don't talk about, but like we're in a sex and friendship recession.
Yeah, we are.
Which is like, isn't that insane to think about?
It's a bit sad.
Yeah. The PR train.
No, I can't. Bro, my whole audience is Pakistani Muslim religious
Oh,
people.
sorry, my bad.
No talk about sex, bro. None of that.
Do I have to cut this section out?
Just the sex part.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, I have to edit this.
Yeah, I can't talk about sex.
Can I just blur out sex, or like do I have to actually cut this entire section out?
No, you can just blur out sex, like as long as.
Oh my god, that's even worse.
Well, you can do whatever you want. Just I can't talk about sex, bro.
Can I just post it as is, or like do I have to like remove it?
Remove or blur. You got to do something about the sex part. Or no, wait. Actually, I already said no, so you don't have to. Oh yeah. You can post it as is.
Oh my god, thank you, bro. I did not like. Generally, I'm so lazy when it comes to editing. Where I'm like, I'll do it if you don't want me to, but it's like, oh my god. I was like, I do not want to have to fucking watch this entire thing. Be like, oh wait, I said this word. Fucking insert like bleep sound effect.
No, you can post it as is. God. Oh my god. Oh yeah.
So going back to the whole demographics thing.
Yeah.
What's next for you? What like you've Oh, here's the thing. I want to get like a lot of followers on social media, and I'm.
How many are you at right now?
1,215. This is something I've noticed. Whenever I post, I lose more followers than I gain. Like, every time, I'm like, what the fuck? Like.
That's so sad. No. I mean, to be fair, like I also lose followers every time I post. That's normal. It's fine to lose a couple. I think you got to look at over time rather than after every video.
Yeah.
Because when you're dormant, people don't remember you, right?
I'm curious. Can I see your analytics right now?
Of course, yeah.
How many monthly viewers do you get?
Okay, so I haven't posted in a couple months.
No, but like I feel like you still get a lot.
When I post, I get like 2 million a month.
2 million.
Yeah.
When
I'm posting, yeah.
I have this friend, he's got like a 1,800. He's not like a social media guy, he's just social. Yeah. He was at 30K, and I get like 13K like on mine. Okay. And I was like, oh shit, like my Instagram. No, like you know like when you're on your Instagram and you're on your homepage and it says this many people have like seen your profile in a month?
Oh, seen my profile?
Wait, this thing, yeah, there.
Like the professional
yeah.
Oh, it's already full.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I haven't been posting.
Mine's like 13K, and I'm like,
oh, okay.
I thought mine was good.
No, it's good. It's good.
But then I saw my friend who he got 18, and he's like 30K, and like there's only like a 500 follower difference between me and him, and he's like he has a 30K, and he doesn't do social. He posts a lot on Instagram. Actually, I wouldn't even say a lot. He posts on it. I'm actually like interviewing him for a podcast later today.
Okay.
But he has that, and now you have like
Okay,
Wow.
so right now I haven't been posting, so I have 500,000, which is still great.
That's insane.
Hey, I'm super grateful. Not saying this is bad, but at my peak times, like when I am posting, for example, doing that zero gravity video and stuff.
Can I see your?
Yeah, let's do 90 days.
Yeah, let's do 90 days. Yeah, I'm so curious.
I don't even remember the last time I posted.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so.
Wait. I'm gonna post the camera. Okay.
So
this is what he got in the last 90 days.
If I'm posting a lot, then I will hit 5-10 million views. It doesn't focus?
Yeah, I think so. I think it just like figured out. It's actually like really cool. So yeah, that's AI.
So I do get a bunch of so 5 million views, 2.5 million accounts reached. To be fair, the one anomaly I have not solved is that I'm so many accounts. 2.5 million people open my account, but I only gained 20,000 followers.
Can I show you something? You're not the only person who has this. There's this guy. I don't know him personally, but I always see his reels.
Wait, I know that guy.
You know him?
No, not this guy.
This guy.
The other guy you open.
He posted this one thing over here about, oh, you're doing social media. You must be getting a bunch of followers, and like he showed his impressions, but like the actual amount of followers he has, I don't know where it is, but it's like
is it good or bad?
It's he gets a lot of people going on his profile, but not a lot of people following, and like
to be fair, I've talked to a lot of influencers, and that's the most common like challenge.
Yeah.
How do you get that retention, that even though people are opening your profile, but somehow they're not following you? Like I haven't solved that one. That's the only one that I haven't solved. All the other analytics, I look at it pretty frequently, and I will try to, figure out what I can improve.
Yeah.
And I do it, and I have been successful in everything else. That's the one thing that I think I have to improve on. And for me, my best guess is that, like I said, most of my audience is Pakistani.
Yeah.
90% of my viewers are going to be Pakistani.
Yeah.
I am not catering to them right now. That is my fault. That is, I take full responsibility of that. I should be speaking in Urdu.
Yeah.
I should be talking more about and helping people in Pakistan. I think there's so much I can do on that end that I haven't done yet, just because I haven't found the time yet. Eventually, at the end of 2026 or early 2027, I'm going to fully pivot and help that side.
Really?
But I just haven't found the time yet.
So actually, this is interesting because I'll tell you what my perspective is, and I'm just answering this like as a data scientist. I think the issue, like I don't even say the issue, but I think the thing that happens with content is I'm thinking about it. When do I follow someone? It's because I'm intrigued. I'm like, I want to keep hearing what you have to say. And I feel like if you added like, it's sort of like when, let's say you post a reel, you don't end it with the result, or like you give the result, but you kind of put like a little, hey, like well, you should keep subscribing to keep doing. Like, do you know this guy's name, like the etymology nerd?
Yeah.
I love his content, and I'm so interested because it's like, it is just so interesting. I love like the way he analyzes like modern language is like, that is like, especially like so you're in the AI space too, like like linguistics and like I get how language changes over time is like a big issue in AI. Like, okay, here's an example. 40 years ago, actually not even 40, let's say 20, 30 years, the word gay used to mean happy.
Yeah.
Today it means a completely different things. And like that's this idea of like semantic change.
Yeah.
And like how language changes represents like different aspects of like times.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know, I'm so interested in like, the way I see it as a data scientist is like, how do you create retention? You've got to create a reason that like, the person who follows isn't necessarily this is just my opinion, I'm not a social media expert. The person who follows isn't the person that like likes your content. It's the person who keeps coming back to your page. Where they're like, it's more worth it for me because of how interested I am in the content to follow rather than like type it down,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I completely agree. I have to figure out a way to get everybody to come back to my page.
Yeah, I wish I had the answers, bro. I've not even passed the 2K mark on social media.
That's okay.
Yeah. You did that, sorry, this is like, I guess in the whole like, I guess sort of tying back to the friendship thing and like networking and following, you did that space conference. I can't remember what it was called.
It was called the Canadian Space Conference, hosted by SEDS Canada.
SEDS, yeah, that was the word, yeah.
Students for the Education and Development of Space.
I remember, you probably don't remember this, in third year we had a talk about social media, and you talked about how there was this cycle you were in, where you go to an event, you post it, you get likes on your Instagram, you get comments on LinkedIn, and it's this whole cycle that just keeps feeding you and keep going. And you know the humorous part is, I don't think I actually responded to your message. I read it, and then I was like, I thought about it, but I like forgot to say it. But like, yeah, like, so you also mentioned earlier about how like even back in high school you were on this whole like, I want to like keep, you know, following people. Like you had always like more followers. So like, is this something you've always like been like as a child, where like you've really liked attention and like doing that, or is that like just more like a subtle part of your personality?
I think that I was very social in high school online. Honestly, it actually, so I grew up in Saudi Arabia, and I didn't integrate with that society as well as I would have hoped.
Yeah.
Like I didn't have that many close friends in school. The majority of my friends were either like people from my neighborhood, or a large part of it was just like people online. I spoke to so many people online. I was just on my phone all day long.
Where'd you meet them? Instagram, Discord, Reddit? Where?
No, honestly, Instagram. I didn't use Discord. Or I don't
use Discord.
Oh, I know. I hate Discord. I genuinely just like, I don't.
Same.
Like WhatsApp or something is simple. Discord is just like overly complicated. It's like I don't.
No, for me it's not even the complicated. I don't want to be associated with Discord people.
Oh, okay.
I do not want to be affiliated with someone who uses Discord regularly.
To me, like I've opened Reddit and stuff, and it's just like it looks like it was designed in 2005 and they never updated it. Like it just like it looks outdated. Like come on, we can make a much more user-friendly interface.
So you know what makes Reddit really cool? Like in terms of AI, it is a chat platform that has like very pro AI features. Like you can get bots to spam it, and it's because when Reddit like first started, they didn't have any users, so they made bots to kind of use the app to kind of like fake like that they had growth. But like the thing is, like A16Z, like they saw it and then like they heard that story and they were like, wait, like maybe the market isn't a new chat app. Maybe it's like you have bots over here. So yeah, side track on AI.
No, but to be fair, it's a really good view of our society at some point, because everybody on Reddit, because it's such an anonymous platform, everybody's much more authentic, and that's why like all ChatGPT and some of the biggest models
I'm so happy you said
Reddit,
that,
right? Because it's so authentic. It really represents the slang or a lot of the semantic things
that are happening in the times.
Yeah, the subtle semantics you're gonna pick up on Reddit, so that's good. Also, like going back to me and social media, like because all of my friends were online, I think that I was posting a bunch back then as well. It was back then I was a kid. I was just posting, you know, like pictures of myself when I travel, cool, chill stuff. But it only really kicked off in like second year or something in uni, when I decided to take it more seriously. And every time I post it and I do get a couple likes, it is a dopamine hit, right? Yeah. And when I'm dormant, I don't care.
Wait, sorry, one thing. I don't want to cut you off, but you said you have to leave by 4. When I saw the thing, it was like 3:30. How much more time do
I
I
have to leave at 4:30. We're chilling.
Oh, okay, perfect.
I'm
good.
Chilling.
Oh, great. Okay, good.
No rush. Posting on social media is always a dopamine hit, right? When I'm dormant, when I'm going on about my life, I'm chilling, I don't even remember it. I honestly, my screen time is so low, I don't even open my phone that much anymore.
What, really?
In high school, it was terrible. Also, okay.
Wait, what is your screen time?
5 hours a day, maybe?
Okay, mine's like 6-7 hours.
Okay.
I wanted like, okay, like this is so counterintuitive because like I'm in the AI and tech space, but I want to use my phone less. I don't want my kids to have access to social media.
Really?
Dude, I feel like, have you seen all like the stats about like how bad social media is for like teenagers?
It is. I mean, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. It fries your dopamine, right?
No, not even, okay, did you know that?
What else then?
Suicides for teenagers 4 times after social media began this.
I see.
Like it's like, I feel like social media is so new. Like this is not something that really existed like 40 years ago. And I don't think we're governing it well at all. And it's like, I hope that like my kids, like when it's there, like we have like actual like, you know, like as a kid, like I'd see things of like, oh, they're talking about banning social media in England. And I'm like, why are they doing that? As an adult, they're like, they're like, oh, if you're under like, I think 16 or 14, you can't use social media. I'm like, that is good. That is a good decision that they made.
No, Loki, I completely agree. I don't know about the age cutoff. I don't have a specific age that I would, when I was younger, like it was 13. I couldn't make any social media accounts until I was 13.
But you know, but the thing is, they say you can't, but it's like, oh, haha.
You can lie.
I was born in 1999, 7-year-old.
Yeah. But honestly, if there is a way to enforce, I do think it would be better not to have social media as a kid.
Yes.
Not only, one, the dopamine stuff, but that's actually not the big problem. The main problem, I would say, is, you remember how you talked about suicide thing?
Yes, yeah.
Because when you're on social media, these algorithms will specifically show you stuff that you've interacted with, people that you like, that follow similar thought patterns. Yeah. You're gonna be in an echo chamber. Every single thing that you like or see is just stuff that you already believe in. It's slowly reinforcing what you already think.
100% agree.
And eventually, because you're seeing, back to back, every day you see 20 videos reinforcing what you already believe, by the end of like the 3-month mark, you're fully solidified in your belief that this is how everybody thinks.
And I so agree. And I feel like there's also this dangerous aspect to it. It's like, because like, okay, we're both immigrants in Canada. You know, like all the anti-Indian sentiment that's going on in social media? I think that is so dangerous, because like people are getting radicalized off this stuff. Like you see it and it's like, are you allowed to talk about this?
Yeah,
okay.
That should be fine.
It's really, like, it's like one of those things where like, okay, truthfully speaking, like I sometimes feel a bit self-conscious because like all the shit I see on social media.
Yeah, honestly, sad situation in Canada right now. And that's the part where if you like a video and you go down that rabbit hole, that rhetoric is going to be pushed to you more and more. Like, this is where, you know, Zuckerberg needs to step in and like do better monitoring to prevent, you know, hateful speech online. That's on their part. Now it's not just about me. Now it's like the management has to do something about it.
But then it's this whole thing of like freedom of speech versus like monitoring. Because like, okay, this is one thing I'll say about Mark Zuckerberg. He's Jewish, but there's a lot of like anti-Jew sentiment on Instagram. Like that is like the one thing where I'm like, yeah, what he's doing is bad, but he's like fair about it, you know? Like it's one of those things where it's like, he's okay. Like I do think there should be monitoring, there should be guardrails, but like, he's very clear on his like whole free speech thing. Where like, dude, there's so much anti-Semitism on social media, and like, I'm not gonna comment on that. I'm not opening that bag of worms. But it's one of those things that I think it's interesting, because like, as much as like, you know, I say there should be guardrails, it's like, you're a perfect person to ask this, because to an extent, what you can talk about online is conserved. Like you can't mention certain topics that I would. How do you recommend drawing that line between freedom of speech versus like what you should and should not say?
It's such a subtle line. It's so hard to, like, somebody has to, no matter what decision you make, you are gonna take the heat for it. Somebody has to be the scapegoat, step up and be like, this, we're putting our foot down. This is how we define it. I think that TikTok, for example, is doing a pretty good job. I think TikTok's algorithm has been pretty good, where if you know, they have whatever their AI system is that they flag any hateful speech or whatever. When it comes to like anti-Semitism, racist remarks, it can be a little bit more subtle, right? People are going to use emojis that your model doesn't know yet. People are going to
slang, just like literally use slang, that like
all sorts of slang. And sometimes it's going to be so subtle that it might be a genuine comment, or it could be hateful speech. You're not even sure. It's case basis, right?
Type 1 versus type 2 error.
So for that, you need to invest in having a team that reviews human reports. So when you have somebody reporting, you know, somebody flags that, hey, this comment is hateful speech or something, you need to have enough staff to actually quickly review those. And you need to, of course, create a department that is able to respond to those quickly. That's where the human stuff kicks in, because your model cannot detect everything. You need the humans. You need a whole department focused on that. That's your responsibility to create that staff.
That's interesting. So I guess we're kind of going back to that whole that thing I mentioned earlier, where there is this kind of thing of like, what are jobs are going to be safe, and like as I was saying earlier, like the issue with like new language is that it's so human that no AI can like predict this is going to be the next slang. Even when like AI generates like memes and content and stuff, it's human beings that said, oh, let's do this would be funny. But you're kind of like, I don't know, it's like, are you familiar with the term like CI/CD pipelines?
CI/CD?
Like, so whenever you like launch continuous integration,
continuous development.
So it's like whenever you launch a model, like things change. So you need to like keep updating it, and then I don't know. That's interesting. Where it's like, will AI ever get so good to the point that it can understand subtleties in? I don't know. Like, what do you think? Well, actually, more than that, like, where do you see AI going for space exploration? How do you see AI helping?
Right now, I feel like AI it's going to improve. It's good, but at the end of the day, it's just a whole bunch of statistics, right? At the end of the day, it's not actually conscious. It can only help you with stuff that humanity already knows. It's only trained on data that we already know. It can't give you answers to things that we don't know fully yet. We are trying to create models that could potentially, you know, solve math problems that we haven't solved before. We are trying to do that, but without it being conscious, if you are trying to do new space research, you are still going to need humans who are able to think critically for themselves. I don't think that it's able to give you answers yet.
Have you heard of the ERDOS problem that ChatGPT solved recently?
I did. I haven't read enough about it to actually like understand how much of it like was original thinking by the bot, or like?
I can tell you.
Yeah.
The person pasted in the AirDOS problem. It used GPT 5.5 Pro.
Okay.
And told it like solve it, and it thought for I think 20 minutes, and it came up with like an actual correct solution. But
this is crazy.
No, I know,
this is
right?
Insane.
Also, like there's things that AI is being used for material discovery, chemistry. Like there, like okay, but
you know
like,
what I think?
Yeah.
Okay, here's my best theory as to like where we can use it for math, because it is good at, the one thing it is really good at is pattern recognition.
Yes,
the whole thing is built on pattern recognition, right? And math is all about, so all these proofs that you're writing, you need to be able to solve those puzzles. You recognize a pattern in a different proof or something, and you try to replicate that pattern and solve this proof. And I think AI could help us in math problems. But if you're doing new chemistry research, I don't know about that.
The way I see it is, so when it comes to solving problems and discovery, there's two kinds of discovery. Discovery using things we previously believed, like seeing patterns, combining information, discovering something new. And there's like paradigm shifts where you come up with like a completely new concept. Like let's say calculus, for example. And like there's this big argument in startups is like, is there any like truly new idea that comes like originally in terms of like products in the real world? And I don't know the answer to that, but like I feel like with math, we do discover new concepts. We have new paradigms like calculus, linear algebra, all that. Those fundamentally did not exist until someone like, I guess, made a new paradigm. And the way I see AI is really good at solving problems using previous information. But let's say like you want to like solve a new type of problem, something that's never been done before, something completely new and original. Like I don't think AI is like good at that.
Because it's not going to do anything on its own. You have to prompt it to do something. It will follow your prompt. You have to give the idea for it. You have to, give it something. And so that's where it will only think about the previous stuff.
Totally.
I mean, we are trying to build models where we're trying to build some advanced models where it can replicate
models?
Kind of like it will replicate the physics laws.
I've heard of those, like physics-informed neural networks, right?
And so that could be pretty cool. I think there's a lot of stuff happening in the physics side of AI as well. I know there are a lot of startups working on that, where they could do, I don't know, maybe you have all the laws plugged in and it can run long-term simulations as well. That would be pretty cool.
Have you heard of, I can't remember the exact term for it, like an ordinary differential equation neural network?
I have not, no.
So my mentor, David Duvenade, well, I don't know if he's my mentor. We worked on research together. I consider him my mentor. I don't know if he considers me his mentee. But his paper that like made him famous was he essentially made a type of neural network that like could learn, and it would model things using like a differential equation. So you have like partial differential equations, ordinary differential equations, and I kind of feel like if let's say I feel like AI, like, you know, like how like when you look at AI models, it's nonsense. It's like absolute gobbledygook, bro. You don't know what it's saying. But it's like I feel like the real advancement is like how can you get AI to mathematically like model the world, and that's my thing where it's like AI will be conscious, like artificial intelligence, like AGI. Once we have like it can mathematically represent the world. But
I think we can like eventually get there, like right? Like
I don't know. Nobody knows.
We're not that far off. I feel like we're doing so well, and also like every sort of development. It doesn't matter if it's the space industry, AI, whatever it is, it's literally just about money. People chase money. People will do anything for money. And we are doing so much investment in AI, especially in Canada, right? So much investment that we haven't seen before. Even, so for example, U of T itself, so much investment in AI. I'm not even going to begin on the US, right? Like
I have a joke about that.
Okay, I'm talking about like our neighborhood is investing like literally right here behind us. Everybody is investing so much in AI. So the people who are in high school right now are specifically gonna go into AI. The more people that go in and have money, we're gonna have that boom and we're gonna get closer to AGI. And because of that money, I think we are gonna get there eventually.
So I've got two things. One is a joke and next is my opinion on AGI. I saw this one thing where U of T donated, I think, $10 billion. No, maybe it wasn't 10 billion. It was like some insane amount, like 10 million it could have been. And then Google matched another 10 million to AI research.
That's what I was
But you know what I commented under that post? U of T will spend $10 million on AI research, but Morrison only has 2 working dryers.
Oh my God.
It only has, like, building of like what? Like 300, 400 people?
I don't know where they spend their money.
But why
I lived on campus for 4 years.
Yes.
I think for 2 of those years, the elevator in my building didn't even work.
Really?
Like only one elevator worked or something. There's always some issue, bro. I swear to
God.
God.
It's like, okay, but the other thing is, I don't know if AGI is actually possible, which is my controversial opinion.
Really?
Where it's like, okay, like have you heard of Gödel's incompleteness paradox?
No.
Essentially, the Gödel's incompleteness theorem. Essentially, it's this idea that like this mathematical logician Gödel, proved that there are statements that are true that we will never be able to prove.
Okay.
He mathematically proved that existed, and then that got me in this whole like spiral. Like, no, like, this is mathematically proven. Like, well, if there are statements that are true that we can't prove, then that implies that like, math is like made from human cognition. And like math is like, it's a closed set of rules that we keep expanding.
Yeah.
But that the only implication of that is like people are inherently not rational. Like there's something like in the human cognition that we can't fully model. And like the way I see it is like, I think we will have computer intelligence, but I don't know if we'll ever have like artificial human computer like I you know what I mean? And I don't know, I don't think like, okay, this is my controversial thing. I don't think LLMs are gonna get us to AGI. Maybe it will.
That's fair.
Maybe I'm wrong, but I personally don't believe that.
That's fair. I think we're still a bit far out. I don't think we're like. I think we've made big strides. In the past,
yes, I agree.
Such big strides that we're closer than ever before.
Yeah.
But I still think that I don't know, maybe a decade or so to get to the point where we're getting really close and it becomes completely indifferent.
Yes.
I think it's not going to happen in like the next year or anything. Nothing like that, nothing crazy.
But also like, okay, like, do you know about the scaling laws?
Of what?
Like AI, like the scaling laws in AI. So it's essentially this idea that as you increase compute, data, and model size, like AI models keep getting smarter and smarter. And we're seeing that. It's like, I think the difference between like GPT-4 and 5 is like now we have like 1 trillion parameters, we've got more compute, more data that it's being trained on. But I sort of believe like it's not scaling laws, but it's more scaling limits. Like there is, eventually we're gonna see degrading performance. We're gonna have to consider new architectures like neurosymbolic AI to eventually like bridge that gap. Because it's like, okay, like you've done like machine learning courses, right? But like, how like, again, all we're trying to do is like minimize error so that we can like match, but then there's overfitting. And it's like, in terms of performance, I feel like it's pretty insane that it keeps getting better and better. And like, as we said, like we're solving like math problems that people haven't been able to solve for like 30, 40 years. Also, I don't know if you've noticed this. I keep on, whenever I anchor time, I always anchor it in 20, 30, and 40 years. I don't even know how long I'm at. I'm just guesstimating at this point. But yeah, I don't know. It's like, I also think I'm yapping a lot, but I think it's interesting that like every big AI lab we are going to achieve AGI. We are, but it's like, you have created so much foundational technology. It's like, instead of doing AGI, just be like, oh no, we're going to explore what this technology can do. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm glad that they have big goals. They're trying. You are right. Like we are reaching those limits, and like I think physically, how all these data centers and them depleting all of our resources.
Yes.
Everything.
Yeah.
We are gonna have to brainstorm new ways, and like SpaceX and all these companies are trying to put
data centers
in orbit, right?
Yeah.
And so we are gonna have to think about new ways to manage AI.
Yeah.
Because it's scaling so quick, but it is so difficult to have it economically viable, like without taking up all of our land, all of our water, all of our electricity. Literally everything is going away, right? And so if we start putting data centers in space, they don't need to deplete any of our electricity anymore. They don't need water. And so the primary block actually is energy.
Yeah.
How do you give them energy? And so there are actually entire companies right now dedicated to building energy infrastructure in orbit for these data centers. There are entire companies specifically for that. Like they're building these giant like satellites that are going to be just like a giant mirror. Yeah. It's going to take the sun rays from the sun and focus it. All the mirrors coordinated. They're going to focus all the energy at one point. So for example, like a solar panel or something in orbit to power these data centers in orbit. And then the real challenge is not even like what's it called, the electricity or the water or something like. It is the thermal management. Like how do you get all the heat away from the data center at this point? You're not using water in space, right?
The space is like so cold, right? Like it can cool it.
Well, depends on where you are. It can be either. That's the point.
Wait, really? Like if you're close to the sun, it's like really hot.
If you're on the sun side, it's like extremely hot. If you're on the other side, extremely cold. That's the problem. It's like swinging all the way. But the real problem is the thermal management. That's the real bottleneck. That's why we haven't already done data centers in space. Because why not already? And so, because all heat in space has to be radiated outwards.
Yeah.
And so that is the thing that SpaceX and all these companies are trying to solve. As soon as we solve that in 2 or 3 years, we're going to have data centers in space.
I think, okay, like this is something I personally believe. I think everybody complains about the job market, but I feel like this is the best time in human history if you ever like want to do something space related.
Oh, 100%.
Yes, like space careers are the future.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
If you have the security clearance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if you can talk about that on this podcast.
No, I can.
Oh.
This is nothing's controlled.
Oh my God, I'm so happy. Okay, so we were talking about this earlier, where I learned a lot about space, and I feel like Hasaan has a lot of opinions and ideas, and I'm just gonna close my mouth and let you speak about it.
About like the security clearance?
Security clearance, like, okay, set the scene, say like what happens, say how you connect to it, and like, just talk about it however much you want.
Okay, security clearances are a big issue in the aerospace industry because it's very expert controlled. Every country has their own aerospace program. And with the US, for example, there's this thing called ITAR, International Traffic Arms Regulations.
Yeah.
So this is something that's been there for decades, right?
Yeah.
They control their aerospace research, their
Yeah.
rocket technology, because rocket technology is the same technology that is used on missiles.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
we have this joke, we always say, the only difference is that rocket goes up, missile goes sideways. That's literally the only difference.
I think the joke would be rocket goes up, missile goes down.
Well, eventually,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's completely fair that they're controlled. Now, every single thing, not just the rockets. So, for example, satellites.
Yeah.
When you have access to satellite data, you have access to all the geopolitical images. You have
Yeah.
access to, so you can, sell that data to China and cause international wars, which is not good.
Yeah,
and
no.
So it is fair that all these things are restricted. It is
Yeah.
fair that they're not going to allow non-US citizens
Yeah.
to work in this industry. And so when Obama came into power, I believe somewhere around, 2008 or something, they started really enforcing this stuff.
Yeah.
And it kind of closed down the gates for the international collaborations. A lot of research is open source nowadays.
Yeah.
With aerospace, it's very limited now as well. Every country, China is doing their own aerospace research, but they're not going to share it with the other countries.
Yeah.
They're going to have some collaboration, but not as much as before, perhaps.
Yeah.
And Canada is similar. So we've got something called CGP,
Yeah.
Controlled Goods Program.
Yeah.
And unless you get a clearance for the CGP program, you can't work in the aerospace industry. And so without being a citizen, you cannot work in the industry here. You have to be careful. And it's not the same everywhere. So for example, ESA, the European Space Agency,
Yeah.
is a little bit more lenient. The UK Space Agency is a little bit more privatized. So they have like private labs across the country where you can go work. Every country has their own laws. You have to know their laws. But yeah, it's very controlled.
So the reason how it relates to Hasaan is,
I'm a Pakistani citizen
Yeah.
living in Canada, trying to go into the aerospace industry. I'm on a Pakistani passport, not allowed to work here in the space industry. So that's been the biggest challenge because I have to get clearance from the DND, Department of National Defense. They're not going to give me it, so yeah.
that's like, okay, so let's say, so that's the reason why he's like trying to get a job, entering the AI field instead of doing his dream of space, right?
Yeah, I think, okay, it's not just that. I think that has definitely been a big motivator.
Yeah.
But to me, there are 3 fields that I think are inevitably going to be the biggest in the next 5 or 10 years. My favorite, space, of course. Second is AI.
Yeah.
You can't even argue about that. And the third is advancements in the field of quantum computing. Anything quantum. And they're all going to merge together at one point, okay?
Yeah.
And because I truly believe that, I have learned more about AI, not just because I want a job and I can't work in the space industry, but actually I want to merge that with the space industry. So when I do get my security clearances in 5 years' time, I actually want to use AI to improve how we use our satellites. We have all these satellites in low Earth orbit, or LEO, and we use these for telecommunications primarily, but all the geosynchronous satellites that we have there collecting the data for US or China, how can we use AI to do the data analysis in orbit, make everything way faster? Because right now, they collect the data, they send it back to Earth, we do the analysis, and then, but we have to send large packets of data.
The latency must be terrible.
The latency is terrible.
Yeah.
The geosynchronous satellites are so far out.
Yeah.
We don't have the bandwidth. It's terrible. if we are able to do the analysis automatically in space and only send 1% of the data back to Earth, only the useful stuff,
just the results.
Just remove all the...
Like literally just like have like a CSV of just the data and just send that in.
We're going to remove all of that latency. Everything's going to be much faster. Everything's going to be much better. So I think I want to combine those fields.
Yeah, that's a big question. That's a big thing in information theory. I don't know how much of that you know, but I have a question for you. So have you heard of this startup called Xanadu? Well, they're not a startup anymore. They just IPO'd. They're doing quantum technology in Toronto. They're always hiring like ML engineers.
Actually, I have. I've applied to them as well.
You applied to them?
Yeah.
I know their founder.
Starts with an X, right?
Yes, I know their founder.
When you said Xanadu, yeah. Okay.
No, I mean I don't know him personally, but like I went to this one talk and like I remember like it was a funny joke he made in the beginning. He's like he did his PhD in quantum information theory.
Really?
And he said, okay guys, raise your hand up if you understand quantum computing. Some people raised their hand up. Most people were halfway through.
Even I wouldn't raise my hand up.
And then, you know what he said? Man. PhD in quantum physics. He's like, really? Like for me, it's like here.
Bro, we always say like when you join like quantum mechanics, your first day in quantum mechanics class, they're always gonna ask, if you understand anything right now, you're doing it wrong.
That's the Oppenheimer wrong.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you understand? No, you're incorrect.
Yeah, you don't understand anything. When I took quantum mechanics for the first time, bro, I didn't understand anything. And I went up to the professor and I'm like, I'm not sure I understand like most of this. And they're like, yeah, sounds about right. Yeah, you're on the right track. Good job. So
I don't know. For me, it's like every time because I've not done like physics in undergrad. So every time I try and learn about quantum computing, it's like I read something, then I have 10 questions. Then I narrow it down, like, okay, what is the one that I feel is easiest? Then I look at that, and then like there's another 15 questions that pop up, and then I'm like, okay, what is the one that's the most relevant to this question? Then I look at it, and it's like, oh, undiscovered research area, and I'm like, wait, what?
Now, let me tell you the craziest stat. When I was an undergrad, when I did quantum mechanics 1.
Wait, okay. What? I understand the idea of like quantum mechanics is like how do particles behave at like really small. Like when it's really small and it gets really like messed up because it's so small. I think it's Einstein's like definition of physics doesn't apply.
Yeah, like.
Or Newtonian physics, something like that.
Newtonian does not apply. Einstein definitely did work on this, so I'm not gonna put him into this. Yeah, Newtonian physics completely breaks down.
Question. Are you surprised that I know that?
No. Oh. I know you like going down rabbit holes. I know that you have knowledge in like every topic. I know that I could literally talk to you about like Asian chipmunks or something and you'd have knowledge on that. Because you go down this rabbit hole, like GPT's your best friend.
Yes, bro.
Bro, you've used that to its like full potential. Bro. So you know how to like learn about everything real quick. Like within 10 minutes you'll get the summary.
But okay,
so I'm not surprised.
Go back to the quantum thing about
I like either really small scales or also at really big scales. Even at deep space, Newtonian rules break down.
Really?
Newton only, he was in the 1600s or something.
Yeah.
He only knows what we observe as humans, like from our eyesight. He only works on, the laws of physics on Earth.
Yeah.
But if you're on really big scales, it also breaks down. Yeah.
But okay, is it like just like one sidebar? Isn't it just insane? This guy in the 1600s was like so right about so much.
Oh, he's the craziest
he did not miss, bro.
He's like, every time that we talk about all the different ones, like Einstein, Newton, whatever, Newton was like way ahead.
Yeah.
Like,
he was one. Like, no, also the thing that made Newton insane was like it wasn't just physics. He was in math.
Oh, everything.
But nobody talks about alchemy though.
Okay.
Nobody talks about alchemy.
Okay. No. We should talk about him too. He's a chill guy. He did some cool stuff. Cool guy.
No. I mean like Newton's alchemy arc.
Oh, that's what you mean.
What did you think I meant?
I thought there was this guy who was, wasn't it all named after the guy who discovered like the main alchemy rules in like the Greek era or something?
Oh, no, I meant more like,
off.
no, I meant more
I'm
like,
stupid.
No, I meant more like he was an alchemist. He believed you could turn everything into gold.
Oh shit, no, I wasn't even thinking
everybody talks about calculus,
yeah.
Newtonian's rules of physics, but
see,
it's like
when
nobody
I think of Newton, I also think about one of his biggest things was optics. He was like the godfather of optics. He did all the optics work. Like, yeah, sure, he did the Newtonian physics and like the calculus stuff, but a lot of his later work, when I say later, when at his age of 23 or something, he like broke all of the rules of optics really early on.
Yeah.
He's the godfather of optics in some way.
This is so funny because like we started in quantum computing and we went on this completely different side tangent in Newton and now what is optics?
Light.
Oh,
dealing with light.
Oh, like how like light's a wave. Okay.
Like, how will a prism work? That sort of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that sort of stuff.
Okay, but going back to quantum computing, you said it's scale. What were we even talking about? Like, explain quantum. Yeah.
oh, I would do a disservice. No. I cannot explain quantum, bro. No. I did not do well in that class.
It's okay, bro. Like, if you pass that class, you're in the top percentile.
Dude, you know, okay, wait. You know what the average was the first midterm that we did in quantum mechanics? Yes, yeah. Actually, that was a crazy guess. Yeah, our average for the midterm was 27, and I was around the average.
Yeah.
Oh, when I got my midterm result back, I was like, there's no way I have to drop this class. What is going on? That was the lowest midterm grade I've ever gotten. And so I went to the professor and I was like, oh my God, what's going on? And what happened? I want to see my midterm. And he was like, oh, Hasaan, you did great. This is the average. And I was like, what? We got our grade back and he curved me up to like a 55 because that was the average. Everybody like failed.
Wait, what was the highest grade in the class? Did somebody get 100?
No.
Nobody
got 100.
That guy's Jesus, bro.
The highest was like a 65 or something. And they curved up the 65 to like a 99 or something.
Fair
Dude, like the curves were crazy. Everybody was getting a 30-mark curve.
Fuck. What did you even learn about it?
Bro, I can't even, like, this was back in second year.
Wait, you learned about quantum computing in second year?
Yeah.
I thought that would be like a third, fourth year class.
No. You learn about quantum mechanics like in second year, and then you just keep ramping it up. So third year you take quantum mechanics 2.
Did you do quantum mechanics
No.
too? Oh, fair.
Absolutely not. I literally switched from astronomy specialist to astronomy major because I wanted to dodge quantum mechanics 2. Like, quantum really just boggled my mind.
The stats equivalent of the quantum is like stochastic processes.
I've heard.
That's the course that only the smartest of the smart end up doing. It's like there's only like 50 people in that class. It's a fourth year class. I didn't do
Sometimes I do feel like with U of T, I don't say this often, but like it's not that it's hard. Right?
They just make it overly hard. I feel like they make it overly hard.
They do. I think that's fine because they hold us to a higher standard.
Yeah.
Like other universities, like I've talked to people from other universities and
Yeah.
I've heard their final exams are literally multiple choice, which I'm like, what? How can you have a final exam that's multiple choice in a STEM field?
Stop it. Really? Oh my God.
No, I've talked to other, people from other universities.
They go to good schools?
I'm not going to name universities, but other universities in like Toronto. Like I've spoken to them and I'd asked them like, how was your, economics or math final? They were like, oh, it was good. I guessed most of the, what do you mean you guessed? Like the multiple choice? They were like, yeah, multiple choice. For us, all the STEM subjects that I took, it was always not just open response, but it has to be so advanced that you are already past the fundamentals. You are applying things. It has to be applications, right? It's fine you hold this to a higher standard. My problem with U of T is that sometimes, specifically in the math, physics, astronomy departments, it's disorganized. They're not focusing on the right teaching methods.
Yeah.
They're just like throwing you into it. They're not teaching you because of, sometimes I would blame it on the reverse classroom format.
Yeah.
They expect you to learn everything on your own.
Yeah.
And they're going to do practice exercises in class, sure.
Yeah.
But sometimes the professor, they don't do it as well.
Sometimes it's incomprehensible what the professor is saying.
I've had some professors, so for example, my electromagnetic theory professor, he was the one who invented or discovered
oh my God, I just know he
LED
can't explain.
or something.
I just know he can't explain well.
Dude, he was like a Nobel laureate or something.
I know for a fact.
Dude, he is literally the most cracked person I ever had as a professor.
Yeah.
You look him up on Google and you're gonna see the craziest resume. He's got like the biggest Wikipedia page, this and that. So when I joined the class, I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. He's literally a celebrity, right? And that was cool. Every class, he just stood at the front of the class and just murmured to himself, alone. By the third week, we had like 10 people out of the 300 actually showing up to class. Nobody came to class.
It's like, I feel like this is something I've noticed for myself. So you remember me in first and second year?
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel like then I was like super social, not very like focused on my career. But I feel like the better I get with my career shit, like the worse I am at like socializing.
Really?
No, it's like this. I feel like, personally for me, I feel like I can't really relate to the average person.
Okay.
Because like, most people are struggling to get a job, they're doing this, and like my career is like moving so fast that sometimes like I feel like, oh, like when the average person, they're like, oh, I had this drama with like Becky, but I'm like, oh no, I need to like solve this new thing in distributed systems that's never been done before. And I'm like shit, like I can't even like talk to you about my problems because like you don't even know what a distributed system is.
Yeah, I think that like you gotta find people who are like doing the same stuff as you.
No,
right?
I do, but it's more like, because okay, here's the thing. I feel like you have this too, because we go to like U of T and like you hang out with mostly people in your major, you have friends outside, but like you sort of get into this echo chamber where like you guys are all like, oh, this, like, for example, for you, I know you, Hassan. I know you think about space all the time. I know you think about it all the time. But like the average person doesn't think about space, if ever.
Yeah.
The same way, like for me, it's like AI. It's all I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
And I asked ChatGPT one time. I was like, what does the average person like think about? And it's mostly like career, like their life, if they're doing things well. And I'm like, I don't know. It's sort of this thing where like I feel like when you get a lot of like success very early, like you did with all your social media and me with AI, like you sort of get like, I guess like siloed.
I do think that sometimes I have been in an echo chamber with U of T in that ways, because when I came to U of T and I'm like, okay, yeah, these are all people just like me. These are all kids like me. And everything seemed normal, right?
Yeah.
Until I graduated and I was, working here and there, making friends from other places. And I realized some of the things that I took so normal were not normal. So all of my friends from my class, every single one, started their PhD right after undergrad.
Yeah.
First thing, like we finished in June, September, everybody's in their PhD. I was the only one who didn't go for PhD in my friend circle. Okay?
Yeah. I have a friend who's direct entry PhD
like
too.
Everybody around me was going that route.
Dude, you know what makes it insane?
What?
PhD, not like, for the U of T stats department, my friend was like accepted to U of T stats department. They only took 8 people this year?
Really?
It's like, okay, like physics is more research focused.
Yeah.
So there is that, but it's hard. Like, we take exceptional things like for granted, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, like I feel this, like for me, it's like, sorry, I'm interrupting you, but it's
no,
like.
you're good.
For me, it's like, there's this one kid, his name's also Arnav. I remember like I met him at like this one AI club and he was like, oh, what do you want to do after uni? This is when I was like in my 4th year. I was like, oh, I don't really know, maybe like Amazon, maybe Hinge. And he's like, Hinge, why would you want to do there? And I was like, well, what year are you in? And then he was like, oh, I'm a first year. I was like, oh, what do you want to do? And in my head, I was like, oh, this cocky ass kid, he doesn't know how the world works. He's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna drop out at the end of this year to work for OpenAI. I've been doing research for OpenAI. Me and Sam Altman are pen pals. I'm on track to become one of the best AI researchers off my age group. And I was like, there's no way this guy has to be full of shit. What? Search his name up, Washington Post article about him. He's like, and I'm like, these are the people we interact with. And like for me, it's like, when I see that, like I see people that are cracked and doing all this shit, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's the norm. But then like people are like, wait, how the fuck do you do all this different shit? Like for example, for you, the fact that you're able to do the space things, school and social media is like insane. Like you're managing like 3 very different cognitive things. Like the average person could not do that.
To be fair, okay, yeah, when you put it like that, I haven't thought about it, but yeah. I think it has become like normalized in my head because U of T, like as a school, I don't know, at an undergrad level, it's very disorganized sometimes.
Yeah.
So I'm cautious when I recommend it to other people. But personally, I had an exceptional time meeting the people that I met.
Yeah.
Because the people that I was friends with, in all of my neighbors,
yeah,
all of my classmates, all of them were like Olympians.
Yes.
Like international musicians. They
like
were
geniuses.
They
like
were
literal
just
geniuses.
These people that like, they all have their own Wikipedia pages, right? All of my friends that I was with in undergrad, they're exceptional in their own ways.
Yeah.
And that gave me the exposure that I never had before living in some tiny town in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
So that was crazy, and it became normalized. And only after graduation, I was able to take a step back and realize, oh my God, what an experience.
So okay, this is the last question before we call it quits. And I want to see if you remember this. 2nd year, it was around January or February. You were in my room, we were having a conversation. Do you remember what that conversation was about?
I remember you telling me that you wanted to create a dating platform.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you remember what happened before that? Do you remember what you said?
What did I say?
We were both talking about how like miserable and sad we were at U of T.
Okay.
And I remember I asked you this question because I was feeling it too, and like I was like, do you regret going to U of T? So now I want to ask you that same question again.
No, I do not regret going to U of T. I do think that for the majority of my time during U of T, I heavily said yes to that question.
Yeah.
I definitely said yes. 1st and 2nd year were so chaotic.
Yes, I completely agree, bro.
It was so disorganized that genuinely academics were a problem. But it's not just the academics. I think socially was also, it was a little bit rough in the beginning. And it might just be cope. I might just be making excuses, but I do have a theory that sometimes when you're in high performing areas, in an environment where everybody is so high performing, sometimes you tend to be in situations where the people have perhaps suboptimal social skills.
No, I don't
or
think that's a cope at
They're
all.
so competitive. So in my,
Yeah.
let's say my physics class, everybody was so competitive that we didn't have the same collaboration. People weren't willing
Yes.
to work together on problems.
Yes.
They wanted to just work alone.
Yes.
I didn't get the teamwork that I was looking for.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I didn't like the U of T experience in that sense because it was so competitive.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if I didn't take up on that U of T offer,
Yeah.
I would have regretted it. I was like, what if I had gone there?
Yes.
I had to see it through.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad that I saw it through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, that was the decision I made, where I was like, I remember I got the offer, and initially I was gonna go to Waterloo. Actually, no, I didn't get an offer, but I remember it was the best school I got into, and my thought was, if I don't do it, I'm always gonna wonder what if, and it's like, it's the best,
Exactly.
might as well just like push myself there. But the way I see it is this, like, for me, I was always very social, but like second year I really struggled academically.
Same.
Dude, like no, like it was like my grades were bad. And I was studying a
No,
lot.
me too,
Dude,
me too,
dude.
man.
The part that made it
Trust me.
so bad was I was putting in so much effort, and I had nothing to show for it. I was like, I remember I was actually talking to my friend about this. Like I had like a list of like all the times I've cried in the last like 5 years, and like she was like, oh, well, why were they this date? And I was like, oh, it was like second year.
Yeah.
And then, but like the thing is, like I had friends, but like I completely agree. Where it's like, the smarter you get, the harder it is to like deal with people. Because like, think about it. Like, if you're such a genius that you're dealing with these like advanced abstract problems, it's like, how can you relate to like the little person? Like, how did like the person who's like, oh, I'm sad because my relationship ended. Like, how?
No, I feel like okay, no. I don't have that issue. I don't think that like, I think we should like make an effort to like be able to do both.
No,
I don't think
I'm
it
not
should
saying
be
that's
like
for. No,
streamlined.
I'm not saying that's for us. Like, I think I can do that, but I feel like some of the geniuses I met, they're geniuses, but like they can't relate to the little person.
Yeah, sometimes that is
Yeah.
an issue, and I think that is a deficiency. Like I have tried, like in every way, that
Yeah.
I want to be multidisciplinary, and
Yeah.
that means that like if you cannot explain a complicated topic
Yeah.
in simple terms, then I think that you have some work to do.
Whoa,
you know?
the Feynman method.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And so I think that you should be able to understand everything.
Yeah.
You should be, because I don't see it as like, I don't see being smart as like, it's not a linear skill. You're not
Yeah.
just, there's not either you're smart or not. No, it's all about experience.
Yeah.
You should have enough experience to understand everything, but you should also be able to explain it in simple terms and connect with daily life
Yeah.
in just regular ways. Like as you were like a kid, keep
Yeah.
that, childish like spirit alive.
I agree. I don't know. I just feel like because I'm in this environment, I pushed myself, and like, it's like, it's so cringe to say, but you know that whole like defy gravity thing?
Like
That's-
the UFC logo?
Yeah, like that's kind of what I feel like it is, where it's like, how do you do something exceptional by like pushing yourself? And yeah, I'm really happy I
I
came
have
here.
tried hard to defy gravity.
Yeah. I literally.
Yeah, literally.
All right, well,
I embody that motto of UFC, bro. I love that motto.
No, me too. Anyway, thank you for coming on. This
you
was a
for
lot of
having
fun. All right. I'm just gonna click stop recording. Oh, I needed a stand.
Oh my days.
Damn, we talked for like a while.